The distribution of power shapes international relations. It influences how countries interact, form alliances, and resolve conflicts. Throughout history, different power structures have emerged: multipolar, bipolar, and hegemonic. Understanding these structures is crucial for comprehending the complexities of global politics. This video will delve into the characteristics, advantages, and disadvantages of each power structure. It will explore how multipolarity, bipolarity, and hegemony influence global stability, alliances, and conflicts. We will examine real-world examples, including the roles of NATO, BRICS, the US, China, and India, to illustrate these concepts. By analyzing historical trends and current events, we can gain insights into the potential future direction of global power. Understanding these dynamics is essential for policymakers, scholars, and anyone seeking to navigate the complexities of our interconnected world. Ultimately, this video aims to provide a nuanced understanding of how power structures shape the international system and the challenges and opportunities they present. A multipolar world is characterized by the presence of multiple centers of power. These centers can be individual states or groups of states with significant political, economic, or military influence. In a multipolar system, no single state or bloc holds absolute dominance. Historically, the period before World War I is often cited as an example of multipolarity. The great powers of Europe, Great Britain, France, Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Russia vied for influence and formed shifting alliances. This multipolar system contributed to the outbreak of the war, as the complex web of alliances drew multiple countries into the conflict. Today, some argue that the world is becoming increasingly multipolar. The rise of China, India, and other emerging economies is challenging the traditional dominance of the United States and its allies. This shift in the balance of power has the potential to create a more complex and unpredictable international environment. In a multipolar world, diplomacy and cooperation become crucial for managing relations between states. With no single power able to impose its will, states must rely on negotiation and compromise to achieve their objectives. Multipolarity brings both benefits and drawbacks to global stability and security. One key benefit is the potential for a more balanced and restrained international system. With several power centers, no single nation can easily dominate or control the global agenda. This balance can lead to a more stable world, as any aggressive actions by one state are likely to be countered by others. Multipolarity also encourages diversity and innovation in international relations. Multiple actors pursuing their own interests can lead to new ideas and approaches to global challenges. However, multipolarity comes with its own set of challenges. Without a clear leading power, there can be uncertainty and instability. Countries might engage in risky behavior, thinking they can take advantage of the lack of a dominant power. Additionally, multipolar systems are susceptible to miscalculations and conflicts. The intricate web of relationships among multiple actors makes it hard to predict reactions, increasing the risk of unintended escalations. A bipolar world is characterized by the dominance of two superpowers. These superpowers possess overwhelming military and economic might, far surpassing other states in the international system. The Cold War era, 1947 to 1991, is a prime example of bipolarity. The United States and the Soviet Union emerged from World War II as the two dominant powers, dividing the world into two opposing blocs. During this period, the rivalry between the superpowers shaped global politics. Both sides engaged in an arms race, building up their nuclear arsenals and supporting proxy wars in different parts of the world. Despite the tensions, the bipolar system also fostered a degree of stability. The threat of mutually assured destruction, MAD, served as a deterrent against direct conflict between the superpowers. However, the bipolar world also had its drawbacks. The superpowers often prioritized their own interests over those of smaller states, leading to proxy conflicts and interventions in the developing world. The bipolar world, while seemingly stable, presented both advantages and disadvantages. One advantage was the relative predictability of the international system. With two dominant powers, other states could generally anticipate the actions and reactions of the superpowers. This predictability reduced uncertainty and the risk of miscalculation. Furthermore, the bipolar system provided a framework for managing global affairs. The superpowers established institutions and norms that regulated international relations, such as the United Nations and the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. However, bipolarity also carried significant risks. The rivalry between the superpowers created a constant threat of conflict, as seen in the numerous proxy wars fought during the Cold War. Moreover, the focus on the superpowers often came at the expense of smaller states. Their interests and concerns were frequently ignored or marginalized in the pursuit of superpower competition. Hegemony refers to a system in which a single state or empire possesses overwhelming power and influence over other states. The hegemon sets the rules of the international system and enforces them through its military and economic might. Throughout history, several states have achieved hegemonic status, including the Roman Empire, the Mongol Empire, and the British Empire. In the post-World War II era, the United States has been widely regarded as the global hegemon. Hegemonic powers often use their dominance to promote their own interests and values. They may establish favorable trade agreements, intervene in the affairs of other states, and shape international institutions to reflect their preferences. However, maintaining hegemony is challenging and costly. Over time, other states may challenge the hegemon's dominance, leading to a decline in its power and influence. Hegemony, while seemingly beneficial to the dominant power, presents both advantages and disadvantages for the global order. One advantage is the potential for stability and order. With a single dominant power, the international system is less likely to experience major conflicts or disruptions. The hegemon can enforce rules and norms, deterring aggression and promoting cooperation. Hegemony can also foster economic prosperity. The dominant power often promotes free trade and investment, creating a more integrated and prosperous global economy. However, hegemony can also lead to resentment and resistance. Other states may resent the hegemon's dominance and seek to challenge its power. This can lead to instability and conflict. Moreover, hegemony can stifle innovation and diversity in international relations. With a single power setting the rules, there is less incentive for other states to develop new ideas or challenge the status quo. The current global landscape is characterized by a shift in power dynamics. The unipolar moment, with the United States as the sole superpower, is fading. The rise of China, India, and other emerging powers is challenging the existing order. China, in particular, has experienced remarkable economic growth and military modernization in recent decades. Its growing influence is evident in its expanding global trade networks, investments in infrastructure projects around the world, and assertive foreign policy in its neighborhood and beyond. India, too, is emerging as a major player on the global stage. Its large and growing economy, coupled with its democratic institutions and strategic location, make it a significant force in international affairs. This shift in power is creating a more complex and multipolar world. No single state is likely to achieve the level of dominance enjoyed by the United States in the post-Cold War era. Alliances play a crucial role in shaping the global power structure. By pooling their resources and coordinating their policies, states can enhance their influence and security. NATO, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is a military alliance formed in 1949 by the United States, Canada, and several Western European countries. Its purpose was to deter Soviet expansionism during the Cold War. Since the end of the Cold War, NATO has expanded its membership to include several former Soviet bloc countries in Eastern Europe. It is also engaged in military interventions in the Balkans, Afghanistan, and Libya. BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These 5 emerging economies have formed a loose alliance to promote their shared interests in international forums. BRICS has established its own development bank and contingency reserve arrangement as alternatives to Western-dominated institutions like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. The roles of NATO and BRICS illustrate how alliances can both reflect and shape the global power structure. China and India, as emerging powers, are playing increasingly prominent roles in global affairs. Their growing economic and military capabilities are shifting the balance of power and creating new dynamics in international relations. China's Belt and Road Initiative, a massive infrastructure development project spanning Asia, Europe, and Africa, is just one example of its growing global reach. The initiative aims to enhance trade and connectivity, but it has also raised concerns about China's strategic intentions. India, with its large and young population, technological prowess, and democratic values, is also poised to become a major power. Its growing economy and military capabilities, coupled with its strategic partnerships with countries like the United States, Japan, and Australia, are enhancing its influence on the world stage. The rise of China and India presents both opportunities and challenges for the existing international order. It remains to be seen how these emerging powers will choose to exercise their growing influence. Predicting the future of global power is a complex and uncertain endeavor. However, by analyzing current trends and historical patterns, we can make some educated guesses about the potential trajectory of international relations. One possibility is the emergence of a more multipolar world, with multiple centers of power competing for influence. This scenario could lead to greater instability and conflict, as states adjust to a more fluid and unpredictable environment. Another possibility is the continuation of U.S. dominance, albeit in a diminished form. While the United States is unlikely to regain the level of hegemony it enjoyed in the post-Cold War era, it remains the world's most powerful country by many measures. A third possibility is the emergence of a new global order, characterized by cooperation and shared leadership among major powers. This scenario would require a significant shift in thinking and behavior from the current system, but it is not entirely outside the realm of possibility. The future of global power will depend on a variety of factors, including economic growth, technological innovation, demographic trends, and political developments. Understanding these factors and their potential interplay will be crucial for navigating the complexities of the 21st century. The global power structure is in a state of flux. The unipolar moment is over, and the world is moving towards a more multipolar or perhaps even a different kind of order. This shift presents both opportunities and challenges for states and other actors in the international system. Understanding the dynamics of multipolarity, bipolarity, and hegemony is essential for navigating this complex landscape. Each power structure has its own advantages and disadvantages, and the potential for stability or instability depends on how states choose to interact within these systems. The rise of emerging powers like China and India is reshaping the global balance of power. Their growing economic and military capabilities are challenging the existing order and creating new opportunities for cooperation and competition. The future of global power will be shaped by a variety of factors, including economic growth, technological innovation, demographic trends, and political developments. Understanding these factors and their potential interplay will be crucial for navigating the complexities of the 21st century. As the world becomes increasingly interconnected, the need for cooperation and diplomacy will only grow. States must find ways to manage their differences peacefully and work together to address common challenges, such as climate change, pandemics, and terrorism. By embracing a spirit of cooperation and understanding the dynamics of power, we can create a more stable, prosperous, and just world for all.